Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the C-Man, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the C-Man's Cinema Sit Down and back in for a little Spooktober catch-up, if you will, because we took the day yesterday because I wasn't feeling very well. Watched this movie, but didn't get a chance to talk about it. And as you know, all month long, we've been watching a different spooky, scary Halloween movie, and as you can see in front of you, I think to this point, it's been a pretty fun mix of old and new and different genre type movies inside of the horror world. And right now, we're on a bit of a run of the 90s horror. And we've just come out of two of the classic 90s slasher flicks. Now we turn our attention to one of the classic 90s monster flicks. Oh, dude, this one is so much fun. Still, anytime I put it on, it just creeps me out and is just an overall good time. So why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat. We're getting ready to dive into Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those eyes? Man, I sometimes have too much fun with myself. But Jeepers Creepers is a movie that I have fun with anytime it is on. It's one of those movies where back when I would be living at home where there's cable. I don't have cable here. We cut the cord. But, just kind of be flipping through. If Jeepers Creepers was on television, I would stop, watch it from wherever it was all the way to the end. And it's one of these kind of monster creature movies that you don't even realize is a monster creature movie until you get to the third act. And Victor Salva, who's writing and directing here, really knows how to just terrify you and then seemingly shift gears, something characters in this movie struggle with, and then come at you with a totally different take on what you thought you've been watching. And at this point in time, the only thing that Salva had done was Powder. And if you'd ever watched Powder, as a kid, I probably would have told you Powder was a horror movie. But elements and things that he could take from making a movie like Powder and then apply that here and just amp it up all the way to full-blown horror movie status, I think you get some really fun, ghoulish moments. And like I said, the thing Salva knows how to do the best is just pull that tension and suspense to where like you legitimately have anxiety anytime a truck comes up on you real fast and life. And that's kind of the original basis of the scares. You got two characters played by Gina Phillips and Justin Long, Trish and Dari, the brother and sister. They're coming home for like a break. I don't know if it's summer or I think it's probably their summer break. It looks like it's summer outside where they are, but it could be fall break. I don't know, but they're coming home. And they're taking Trish's car, which, let's face facts, if you watch the movie, not the most ideal car to have in the situations that are coming up. But while they're driving, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like they're just kind of messing around. Justin Long's Dari is kind of making fun of Trish's boyfriend that they think she's been seeing. And while he's singing this funny little ditty that he's creating on the top of his head, you see a truck just moving, man, and like it gets up behind them. It starts honking. The honk on the truck is terrifying. Everything about this truck is scary. And like that first scene really gives you an idea of what you're in for. And if you're looking for a movie that's going to scare you or make you go, oh, no, don't. This movie is going to deliver on all those fronts. And just from that, like the way he builds it's like, okay, we got this crazy guy in a truck. And then we see that crazy guy in a truck throwing what looks to be bodies down like a sewer drain. And it creates moments for the characters where like, I'm with Trish, man. Like Dari eventually is like, we should go back. Like now that he's driven away, we should go see if those were people. Like, what if that was you in there? Wouldn't you want someone to come back if they could? Appreciate that good guyness for Justin Long's Dari. But like you're crazy, man. Like after an experience like that, like being chased inadvertently and then seeing something weird go on, I'm calling the cops. I'm telling you where it is, and I'm going the heck home. But you wouldn't have much of a movie if that was the case. And I do like that build. Like you just kind of have this mystery. Like I don't know what the deal is with this guy, But when that truck comes around, you are really scared. And when they go into the House of Pain, as they refer to it, then you just get really horrifying visuals where, like, again, if I'm Trish and Derry, specifically Derry, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge as fast as I can. I mean, you go into what you think is a sewer drain, and it's actually the basement of this abandoned church, and there are just bodies all over the ceiling and walls. And that's the other thing that Salva does so well here, is the terrifying imagery that he gives you is just, oh, it's spooky. And it's spooky before we even see Jeepers Creepers in his real form. You get to a point where, like, he keeps popping up where the kids are and doing these things that are quite inhuman to a degree, but you're like, maybe he's really, really strong. And then they run him over with a car, and this is one of those small, like, nitpicky moments for me. My dude jumps and runs over the car twice. And then all of a sudden he just starts walking at him, and Trish is like, yeah, that's it, walk closer, walk closer. And you're like, oh, she's gonna wait so that when she hits the gas, it'll happen too fast for him to jump and run over. And I think that was the idea, but visually it looked like he had a lot of time to prep and jump, but he doesn't. He gets hit by the car, and then she runs him over a bunch of times. And then that's when we start to find out that he is a creature, man. Like, a wing freaking shoots out, and you're just like, and let alone his face is just horrifying. The creeper's face is very scary. But even at that point, you're like, that reveal happens right after he gets run over and he looks like he's dead. And you're like, well, now where do we go? Like, we still got movie. Like, obviously he's going to come back. What's the deal going to be? And that's when you get the full reveal of what this thing is, man. Like, he will go and consume humans to get what he needs. You break his leg, he's going to eat a leg and it'll fix itself. He's lost his eyes, he eats a pair of eyes, and now he can see again. And then you get to see him as a creature. And that end of the movie, that third act in the police station, is just a fright show bonanza that's so much fun. And I think Salva really, really knows, like I said, how to build tension. And then all that building, all that creation and things that you're dropping to create this monster, then you just get the full execution and the fun of all of it at the end of the movie, where you're just like, you nailed it. And I think Salva's story and direction and production design and everything that goes into the movie is what makes it a big time winner. But then having two cast members that can carry that movie and make you invested in them. Gina Phillips, I think, does a fine job as Trish, Derry's sister. I think she hits some of those sister quality beats. The brother-sister vibe between the two of them in general in the movie, I think, is really, really natural. And then, like, she seems to be the more sane of the two, even if, Derry is the better of the two. And just like what they give her and how her story goes, I think you get what you need out of Gina Phillips. For me, though, Justin Long is the standout in this movie. This is a guy who is no stranger to horror movies. He's done plenty over the course of his career, and I love when he pops up in them because he has this innate ability to kind of bring humor and give you some of those laughs and just kind of quirky things that Justin Long can do without ever really detracting away from the terror that's going on screen. And just the looks on his faces, like when this thing comes up, when it shows up, when he's down in that basement and like the couple scare moments down there, like physical facial acting from Long is just so good in the movie. And he really, I think, sells everything even better than Gina Phillips does. And the two of them, though, together, really create a pair of characters that you care about, you're invested in, and as you learn more about their story, you're like, oh no, like we're going to have to lose one of these two. I don't necessarily want that to happen. And when you get to the end and you find out who makes it and who doesn't, and what happens to the one who doesn't, like I said, chilling imagery from Salva. And that's the things that I think work best in Jeepers Creepers. And then, for the most part, the other people who pop in and out of the movie, they're okay. It's nothing crazy. But Jonathan Breck, who plays the Creeper, brilliant. Like, he doesn't need to speak a word. His just physical presence does everything you want that creature to do. And then when he is allowed to just be full-fledged creature, whether he's feasting on a human or running across a wall, like, all those elements work really, really well. And again, the design around the creeper is just genius. But the other standout for me from the rest of the cast that's there, yes, Eileen Brennan, who gets to be the cat lady for a little bit. She's fun. But for me, when it comes to the rest of the cast, really the only other standout is Patricia Belcher. One, very recognizable face. I've seen Belcher pop up in tons of movies over the years, specifically in the 90s. If you see Patricia Belcher, you look her up on your phone, as soon as you see her face, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know her. And what they give her to do here is Giselle Gay Hartman. It is fun, she's like the local town psychic, so like she calls the kids early in the movie, and then she's around for the entire police station sequence. But she gets to have fun with that, man. Like the urgency in her delivery and the terrifying nature of the fact that she doesn't ask to see these things, but the things she's seen are so horrifying, she thought maybe she could save somebody by telling them so that they change what they're going to do. And then, like most things, like in movies that kind of deal with fate, your ultimate outcome might be predetermined. And if someone can see the future, that future is eventually going to be what happens, because they don't get to see all of it. And Belcher just handles that stuff, her delivery and the way she is trying to help the kids. And then when it's not working, like the frustration she has, like, I don't ask for this, okay? Like, this just comes to me and I'm trying to help you. Is just spot on perfect. So overall, like I said, I think so much of the win in this movie has to go to Salva. He really just crafts a creepy, delicious monster movie. And then the cast and the execution of the creeper itself just amplify everything that he's doing right and directing wise. And for me, one of my all-time favorite, like, monster scary movies from the 90s, and even just in general, man. Jeepers Creepers just always gets me. And it's that, again, it's the production design on the creeper. He is just terrifying. I love these movies so much. But there you go, man. Those are all my thoughts on Jeepers Creepers. Now I want to know what you're thinking. Are you a fan? Of the monster movie? Did you know that Jeepers Creepers was going to be a monster movie? Did you always feel like he was going to be more than what he appeared to be as a man? How did that surprise twist play with you when all of a sudden that first wing pops out when he's been run over all those times? Did the creeper terrify you? Did the movie give you those chilling, terrifying visuals that you look for in a movie like this? Or was it just like, yeah, man, it's whatever? Anything you're thinking, good, bad, or indifferent on Jeepers Creepers, down below in the comment section. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man the rest of Spooktober, you haven't yet, you want to show a little love support to the old C-Man, join them C-Maniacs by jumping over there, hitting that subscribe button, hit that little bell for alerts, and until next time, for the C-Man's Cinema Sit Down, I've been the C-Man, and I'm signing off. Peace. You guys are still here? You must be looking for some more content. Well, don't worry. C-Man's got you covered, man. You got videos like this guy and this guy. And if you haven't yet, and you want to come check out all the C-Man goodies, join the Cinema Sit Down squad, man. Hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little bell down below that, too, so you can get alerts every time I make new videos.